Story time with Game Master Mike. Hey folks, this is going to be a story about my school clothes stories and how I've used to become picky on what I wear to school every day. Now this story is going to be mostly about my second and third grade years of my school clothes stories and how I developed a couple of nicknames because of it. It was Bad Boy and No Match Boy. Now, for some apparent reason, I was called Bad Boy when I was in the second grade because of what I wear to school. And for some apparent reason, that's what the nickname that I've developed. Now, I used to be picky of like button-down t-shirts and pockets, which my dad forced me to wear. But I do not mind now. I'd prefer to wear those, which I'd prefer to wear pants with pockets because you can store things in, which is pretty neat. But here is the story about it and how I got in trouble at school. Yep, got into a lot of trouble at school because of the dress code when I was in the second and third grade year of school. But I'm going to tell you all about it. But first, the background is this Calvin and Hobbes Sunday comic about Calvin wearing clothes that doesn't match, and the clothes attacked him, and his mom told him, "Look at you, have you gone colorblind?" And he said, "I don't want to hear about it." So that was the same thing about me when I was a kid, about me going to school like this, apparently. And so on to the story. My sister usually told on me about what clothes that doesn't match, like you should wear like men's sweatpants along with like I'd say a polka dotted shirt, and then my sister barges in and saying that doesn't match, and so pretty much she told my dad on me, and then my dad said, "Absolutely not, you're not wearing that to school." So he picked out some clothes that I was forced to wear, and I had to go to school like that. So second grade year, I was so fed up. You know what I did? So my dad picked out clothes that I don't even want to wear to school. And so you know what I did? I was also forced to change. So you know what happened? I put those clothes that my dad forced me to change out of to put in my backpack. So on the school bus on the way to school, I snuckfully changed clothes to the clothes that doesn't match. So you know, when I walked into school, a lot of kids looked at me kind of weird. So when I got into the classroom, the teacher said, "You're coming with me to the principal's office." And so I was dragged into the principal's office, and she showed the principal what I'm wearing. And you know what happened? The principal yelled at me. She screamed at me she's going to call my parents. I started to cry, and so she called my dad to come with another set of clothes. So my dad came with a set of clothes, and he wasn't happy about it. So I had to change into these clothes, which I was satisfied of, and I was forced to wear it. And that evening, I got into a lot of trouble for it. And he then picked out my clothes to wear from now on. Oh, my third grade year, I pretty much did the same thing, but this time it was over a Christmas sweater in March. And so anyway, I remember that day it was very cold in March, so my dad said, "You're picking out a sweater." So anyway, I had like no sweaters that I liked, so the only one that I would wear is this Christmas sweater. So I put it on and I showed Dad, and he said, "Absolutely not. You're not wearing that Christmas sweater in March." And so my dad picked out this zipper sweater, which I was dissatisfied in. So you know what else happened? I put the Christmas sweater in my backpack. When I got on the school bus again, I changed into this Christmas sweater. So right when I walked into school, all the kids looked at me kind of weird because I was wearing a Christmas sweater in March. So when I got into the classroom, the teacher looked at me and said, I had no idea Christmas was in March. Go to the office and show the principal what you're wearing. So I went to the principal's office. I started to cry because I knew the principal was going to scream at me. And so, guess what? She did. She said she's going to call my dad and to come to get me a sweater to wear. So I immediately ran as fast as I could back to the classroom, got the sweater, changed into it as fast as I can, and right when I ran into the principal's office, she was still on the phone with my dad. And so I showed the principal what I'm wearing, and she said to my dad, never mind, he already got his sweater. And the principal told me, you come into school dressed up like that again, you're going to out school suspension, OSS. So anyway, I remember getting suspended from school once when I was in the 5th grade, but I got thrown into in-school suspension several times at my middle school in Monongah, and it is like entering a maximum security prison. You're trapped in a cell with cellmates there. Would never do something like that again today, but you gotta wear what you're wearing at school, and you gotta obey the dress code. I've pretty much wore clothes that didn't match, and I got into a ton of trouble by my parents and by the school. So anyway, that it probably is it. So there you go, folks. That is my school clothes stories. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.